Welcome to another episode on our channel, and we've been covering World War II, 1939 to 1945. We've talked about Germany. We've talked about the Soviet Union. We talked about the treaty that was created between Germany and the Soviet Union, which basically, in essence, created a collaboration to kind of divide up territory. Not that one would fight against each other or fight for each other, but they were okay with dividing up territory. So I wanted to turn to Poland next, and thank goodness I was able to get some clothing to represent a Polish paratrooper. When I started looking at uniforms, I noticed that the paratroopers look pretty much like British soldiers, and I was confused at first. And then I read something where, yes, they had adopted basically the same attire, Britain related uniforms and accessories and so forth. The only thing that changed was the insignia and the badges on the berets and so forth. So this is accurate. He looks British, but he's actually representing a Polish paratrooper. So we will pause and get him on a rotating tray and talk a little bit more about Poland and World War II. So we'll be right back. We are back, and Germany invaded Poland with a passion. They hit them hard and fast with the blitzkriegs, hard and fast to break through lines and so forth. But Poland was seriously outmanned and outgunned. Germany had 1.5 million troops. They had 2,750 tanks, 2,315 aircraft, whereas Poland had 1 million men. They had 210 tanks, less than a tenth of what Germany had. They had 670 tankettes, and I didn't know what that was, but apparently that's a smaller tank, watered down version of a tank, and they had 800 aircraft. So they were seriously outgunned and outmanned. And still they fought valiantly. They sent a number of troops to the Western Front and waited for help from their allies, France and the United Kingdom. But apparently they were having problems with the geographical distance and their own issues with mobilization and so forth. Perhaps had not built up their personnel as they should have, given that apparently Poland, yes, they were invaded, wasn't a declared war per se, but before Poland was invaded, Germany had secured its eastern front by annexing Austria and Sudetenland, which apparently is northern, southern, western Czechoslovakia, as well as Czechoslovakia. So Poland was like the fourth territory that was taken, but the other three, no shots were fired. Poland, they really wanted to kill a lot of people, and they did. But Poland fought valiantly and even repelled attacks, even won some attacks, yet they were being bombed, just continuously, and again, the fast blitzes were creating havoc and so forth. But when the Soviet Union entered on the eastern side, it was pretty much a done deal. So the Soviet Union brought 450,000 men. They had 4,736 tanks. They had 3,300 aircraft. So they were formidable, apparently, as well, and coming in on two fronts. Poland, it was pretty much, like I said, a done deal. They never officially surrendered as a country, though. That's amazing. And the Polish resistance would emerge eventually. So this figure is a Polish soldier that, when I was doing research on what they looked like, I ran across some paratroopers and I thought, man, they look British. And apparently the paratroopers did use British uniforms. The only thing that was different was the insignia and the badge on the beret. So I went for that look. I went for a paratrooper here and used, well, we'll talk about the figure more in a bit. We'll start with the feet, get some close-ups, and go all the way up to the top of the head. So we'll talk a little bit more in just a second. So this Polish soldier has black boots, like tan gaiters. He's got the darker OD green British pants, brown shirt. You can see the Sten gun there in his right hand, and a revolver and a holster, a belt, a pouch, and the ammo pouches along his chest that go to his Sten gun, the magazines inside, and of course the beret with the Polish badge there. I used a Henry Cavill. I almost said Cavill. I'm tempted to say Cavill, but it's like Cavill. Henry Cavill, Hot Toys head on this soldier. I thought he would make a good head for this particular soldier. So we'll pause now and get some side-to-side shots. So you can see he's holding his Sten gun in his hand. He's got a Webley revolver that actually opens up. I'll show it to you in a bit. He's got 7 magazine holders here along his chest and another pouch over here. So we'll just kind of do some profile shots. He's looking pretty good. The Webley is actually very cool in the sense that it opens up and it does show the bullets there. I thought that was cool. Let me just put it back in. All right. Yeah. I didn't want to put the jacket on him. I wanted him to look this way. Although he looks good with the jacket on as well. But I think he looks better this way. So we'll pause now and get a close-up of the head sculpt. We'll be right back. Again, this is a Henry Cavill head sculpt with a Polish badge on the beret. I think this is an appropriate head sculpt for this soldier since they fought so valiantly. There you go. We are back, and I didn't mention these two things, but this is an anti-tank rocket holder, and I just so happen to have 2 anti-tank rockets in there. They look pretty darn cool. But the uniform is basically British, other than the badge on the beret. Normally we would bring Germany back out and the Soviet Union back out, but I do want to show you 2 more Polish fighters, resistance fighters. So we'll do that episode first before we bring everybody back out. So I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.